So this is a progression. We were working at the markets for about a year or so, and a store owner by the name of Cash Palace, this was the name of the store, and the owner offered us an exhibition. So we painted to themes, and this is an interesting start. In the past, our work, as previously you could see, was completely abstract. It was just basically all about colour, shape, and we thought, well, let's do a show. Let's think of themes that we love. So, we were studying art at the time, so, ancient Roman, Botticelli, all those things that were flowing around in our heads and all the things that we were studying, we thought, well, let's put them into jewellery. So we had a little exhibition. These are a couple of pieces that were left over. So you can see the Venus there, and you can see the Ionic columns and little cupids. And we were really interested in these sorts of, this imagery. And luckily, so were our customers, and people actually bought quite a few things. And it launched us out of the markets into actually selling things in retail stores. So now we're really pared back, and we're thinking about, we're trying to really look at simplifying what we were doing, basically getting back to just pure shape and form. And then the quantum leap. We were using resin, but we were using it with a black pigment, and then we were painting it so the back was black and the colours were on the front. And we started to play around with, some colours that would, we realised it could set clear. And this is one of the first necklaces we ever made with clear resins. And it's interesting how you can have an idea and you look for materials to achieve that idea. But also in the process of experimentation, this was the material showed us a direction and gave us a direction, and the material said, well, look, you can do this with me. And it was really one of those great moments where we realised we could just use pure colour and the intensity of colour with the translucence. So you can see, I guess, the level of finish is starting to change with what we're doing. We're starting to play around with slightly more finished, slightly more perfect, but still within that sort of wabi-sabi. Things aren't as perfect as they look there. You can still see there's, different forms, and whenever you pick up one of our pieces, you can tell it's not machine-made. And I think that's really important, that we maintain the feeling of the sculptor. And someone said something to me once that I thought was a lovely saying. They said it's as if the hand leaves a poem, and that poem is read by the person that picks it up. And quite often people feel when they're holding one of our pieces, they really can feel that sense of the hand that created it, and it's like that passes on. This is a chandelier we built that went to Tokyo for Designers Block, and we had a retrospective exhibition that was travelling through Asia and went to Tokyo for this particular opening, that was where we built it in a shed out in Mascot, and that was the chandelier hanging in Spiral Hall in Aoyama, which was a wonderful opportunity for us to be chosen to do this particular exhibition. So these were some paintings I showed at the Tim Olsen Gallery in the end of, 2008, in the annex, the small gallery next door to the main gallery. The names of, the last one that's called Still in the Nest. And I guess there's this, you can pick up on, I think I'm an abstract painter. I like to call myself an abstract painter, but there's always landscape creeping in, the sense of horizon, a sense of an object. Maybe it's a bird sitting on an egg, and I guess the story comes from, I do the painting, then I sit there, look at it, and it tells me a story back, and quite often I name it. That's called The Lucky Country, because I actually painted it the other way up, and it reminded me of a map of Australia, and then I turned it the other way up, which I thought looked better. So that little bit at the bottom was Tassie. And that was called The Singing Budgie. So, I sensed the little toy hanging down, little budgie in the cage, the yellow, canary yellow, little black tail. I called that the red centre, again, I guess it's an abstract painting, but very landscape in its feel, and I guess it's got an Australian feel. I guess the red of Russell Drysdale and the sort of backdrop of a dusty country. I think most things, yeah. What you do is when you work creatively or you're working aesthetically, you have a set of rules. Now those rules are all about, I guess, defining style. So if you think of style, you think, okay, what defines a style? Why does a style come about? It's because when you approach something, you approach it in the same way. Now those rules are forever. I think it's important that they're forever changing. They're forever evolving. You can't get stuck in a style. But at the time, I think you have, and it was a question that came up today. I was talking to someone, I'm doing a bit of PR around the show, so I've been talking to a few other journalists, and I was saying that, the question, what's it all about? And it's about having a set of rules that you're working with, and then applying them in a creative way. But I guess what I'm trying to say, you don't want to, rules are to be broken, and it's important. But trial and error can play a big part in a creative process. I think every time I start a painting, it's a trial, and I've got that attitude, because it's not cemented until I'm happy with it. So until you're happy, and the same goes with designing a necklace or a bangle. You've got to have that. You've got to be ruthless and rigorous in your approach. You can't. I think you doubt yourself every time you start. You doubt yourself. You think, I think you can feel comfortable, but it's important that you don't get too comfortable, because I think the sense of struggle that actually bears richer fruit. And it's like always saying, well, I left art school, but I'm always going to be a student. You're a student. You never stop being a student. I don't believe you graduate. You just move in. You just don't go to that place anymore. But, that mentality should stay with you for the rest of your life. So, no, I don't think we're ever comfortable. We're always thinking and working and struggling and trying to improve on where we've been.